Hello everyone. Sorry. Peace be upon you all. Welcome to the stream number 7, where we read Linguistics and Introduction. We are right now in chapter 3, section 2, morphemes, allomorphs, and morphs. Morphemes sometimes, he says, come in different phonological shapes. For instance, we identify the morpheme with the shape T in kissed, which indicates that the event happened in the past. For pat, the corresponding form ends with ed, pat, and for goggle, if I added an ed, it would be patted. One second. Okay. Patted. And for Google, it ends with googled and a D. These variant forms are called allomorphs. Morphemes sometimes come in different phonological shapes. Why does he say phonological and not phonetic shapes? We said that phonology is something different. Phonology investigates the sound differences that are linguistically relevant in a language and how they sound pattern as a system. We've learned about phonemes and allophones, free variation, complete distribution, rules of realization. I don't understand what he means with phonological shapes, different phonological shapes. Regardless, we've got a morpheme which indicates the event happened in the past, and this morpheme is divided into allomorphs, the T and the ED and the D. And it changes according to the phonology of the language. That's why I think he said phonological, that it is phonological shapes. Other allomorphs in English. Other allomorphs in English are S, Z, and EZ, which are variant forms of the morpheme that attaches to verbs and indicates present time, and that a single person other than the speaker or the hearer did the act, as illustrated by pats, googles, and goggles, and kisses, respectively. In Yinkarta, which is a Pama-Nyungan language found in Australia, future time is indicated in some verbs by adding ku, in others by adding wu, and in other by lku. For instance, we have Karnakayaku will call out, Ninawu will sit, and Kampalku will cook. The three forms ku, wu, and lku are allomorphs of the future morpheme. Allomorphs, like allophones, may be in either complementary distribution or free variation. Let me remember what's complementary distribution. Free variation, which we can change them and we get the same result. Complementary distribution, I believe, means that when one happens, the other happens elsewhere. The allomorphs E and EN of the English indefinite article O, A, and N these are not the only allomorphs written A and N respectively are in complementary distribution. The former occurs when the following word begins with a consonant, the latter when it begins with a vowel. Free variation is illustrated by alternative realizations of the word exit as exit and exit, economics as economics and economics. What's the difference? Oh, the first letter. Economics and economics. And off and off. All forms of each pair are found in the speech of many speakers of English and are phonemically distinct. All all forms of each pair are found in the speech of many speakers of English and are phonemically distinct. Why is he saying phonemically? Phonemically. Phonemically. Or does he want to say that these are different phonemes? Each pair is a different phoneme. Okay, I got it. Elsewhere, gz and x, eggs and x, as in my x, are minimal pairs. A, E, A, and R contrast phonemically. Speakers may, of course, tend to use one of the alternative forms in preference to the other. I'm lost. I don't understand, frankly. I got what's a morpheme and what's an allomorph. But I don't get how they are in complementary distribution or free variation. Free variation is illustrated by alternative realizations of the word exit, economics, and economics, and off and off. All forms of each pair are found in the speech of many speakers of English and are phonemically distinct. I guess the point is that but the G and Z and K and S are not allomorphs. There's something wrong, at least in my understanding. I'm trying to understand. Free variation is illustrated by alternative realizations of the word exit as exit and exit. Oh, I got what the meaning phonemically distinct is. G and K are not alternatives, are not allophones. They are different phonemes. As such, and so elsewhere, G, Z, and K, S, as in X and X, or contrast phonemically. Phonemically. But my question that still stands is how are the example that he gave, exit and exit, how are they different in terms, how are they allomorphs? Is he suggesting that exit is a compound word of ex plus it, x or x plus it, and is ick economics is clearly compound, but what is its parts? It's morphemes. Let's continue this part. Speakers may, of course, tend to use one of the alternative forms in preference to the other. Between exit and economics and economics. You should have separated them with the space so that we get where are the morphemes, different morphemes. I think I've got it. Let's move on. The term morph is sometimes a labite, rather infrequently used in reference to any minimal meaningful element in a language. For example, 3 morphs can be identified in the English word unwisely. Un, realizing a negative morpheme. Wise, realizing the morpheme meaning wise. And ly, realizing a morpheme meaning manner. In English, we have 3 morphemes with the same phonological form. Z. One going on nouns and specifying plural, more than one, as in dogs. Another going on nouns indicating a possessor, as in dogs, again. And yet another going on verbs indicating he or she or it is doing something. There are also 3 morphs with the phonological shape S and 3 with the shape EZ in my dialect Australian English. This gives 9 morphs altogether, forming 3 sets of allomorphs of 3 morphemes. Okay, this last sentence is unclear to me. This gives us 9 morphs altogether. 3 Z's, 3 meanings to Z, 3 meanings to S, 3 with the shape EZ. This gives us 9 morphs. Cool. And 3 sets of allomorphs of 3 phonemes. Morphemes, sorry. Cool. Three morphemes. Okay, let's proceed. Main types of morphemes. Types according to occurrence. 3 morphemes. Words, as we have already seen, are 3 forms. A simple word consists of a single morpheme, and so is a free morpheme. A morpheme with the potential for independent occurrence. In the pharma kiss, the duckling, the 3 morphemes are the, farm, kiss, and duck. It is important to notice here that in this sentence, not all of these 3 morphemes are words in the sense of minimal free forms. Farm and duck are cases in point. What? It is important to notice here that in the sentence, not all of these 3 morphemes are words in the sense of minimal free forms. Farm and duck are cases in point. Okay, let's see what minimal free form means again. Words in the sense are minimal free forms with the degree of independence from other words in the sentence. First, they can be separated from the other words. This gives us the free bit. Second, they cannot be divided into smaller parts, each of which has such a freedom. Observe that pharma is a minimal free form, since in our sentence farm cannot be separated from ER, which does not have freedom of occurrence. I do not understand. Words are, in the sense, minimal free forms. Let's read from the beginning. I did not gain anything from reading it all again. Words are, in this sense, minimal free forms, with a degree of independence from other words in the sentence. First, they can be separated from the other words. This gives us the free bit. Second, they cannot be divided into smaller parts, each of which has such freedom, giving the minimal bit. Observe that farmer is a minimal free form, since in our sentence farm cannot be separated from which does not have freedom of occurrence. Okay, I think I got it. It is important to notice here that in this sentence not all of these free morphemes. Okay, I forgot what a free morpheme is again. Words, as we have already seen, are free forms. Simple words consists of a single morpheme. Simple word consists of a single morpheme, and so is a free morpheme. I lost my focus. Let's repeat. Words are minimal free forms. That's how we defined words. A simple word consists of a single morpheme, and so is a free morpheme. A morpheme with the potential for independent occurrence. Okay. It is important to notice here that in this sentence, not all of these free morphemes morphemes are words in the sense of minimal free forms. form and doc are cases in point. How are form and doc not minimal free forms? No, I don't understand. This is a problem. It is important to notice here that in this sentence not all of these free morphemes are words in the sense of minimal free forms. God, help me understand. Does he want to say that in this sentence farm is not a word because it is not independent, rather it is farmer which is a word? I think that is what he means. Okay, let's proceed. Bound morphemes. Bound morphemes, by contrast, require the presence of another morpheme to make up a word. They can't occur independently. The morphs ed, ling in our example sentence are bound morphemes. All the other morphemes are free. Yang, kata, ku, wu, and ilku are also bound morphemes. Bound morphemes, which, like those discussed in the previous paragraph, go onto the ends of words, are called suffixes. See below for some qualifications. Another type of bound morpheme is a prefix, which precedes the morpheme to which it is attached. Another type of bound morpheme is a prefix which precedes the morpheme to which it is attached. The bound morphemes an and re in English are prefix, prefix, prefix. How is it pronounced? Prefix, as in unhappy and reconstitute. A third type of bound morpheme is an infix that goes inside another morpheme, as in Tagalog, which is an Austronesian language found in Philippines. In past is in Ibinigai, gave, which occurs within the morpheme ibigai. Collectively, suffixes, prefixes, and infixes are called affixes. Cool. It is important to stress that infixes are affixes that occur within other morphemes and not between them. Oh. Thus, is not an infix in farmers, where it occurs between two morphemes, farm and s, not within either of them. Remains a suffix. The closest thing to infixation in English is the incorporation of expletives into words. What's expletives? Insults. Profanity. Okay. As in abso-bloody-lutely. And fam-fucking-tastic. Okay. The distinction between bound and free morphemes is not always completely clear-cut. A morpheme can have both free and bound allomorphs. For example, not in English has a free form and a bound form, int. He is not going has the free form, while he isn't going has the bound form. There are also words like deride that have a bound form. Dirige. What? As in dirigen. Oh. But why did he choose deride? There are many other examples that are better. Deride means making, insulting someone, right? Making fun of him. Okay. This form is different from the free form and must be used when the word is followed by the morpheme ion. And cannot be used in other circumstances. The free and bound forms of the negative word are in free variation, whereas the free and bound forms of deride are in complementary distribution. Okay, cool. Sorry. I've got a lot here. It doesn't end. all the way to page 65. I need a break. I'm enjoying myself though. I'm not bored, unlike the chapter on phonetics and phonology. It was really unenjoyable. 1 second. Okay, let's continue. Types of morpheme according to function or use. A different classification can be arrived at if we consider the usage of a morpheme, including the type of meaning it conveys. Instead of its distributional possibilities. Why is this chapter difficult? A different classification can be arrived at if we consider the usage of a morpheme, including the type of meaning it conveys, instead of its distributional possibilities. So, bound morphemes and free morphemes is distributional possibilities. This is the basis for the distinction between lexical and grammatical morphemes. Okay. lexical morphemes. Lexical morphemes are those like farm, kiss, happy, constitute, book in English, and ibigay in give in Tagalog, that convey the major content of a message, specifying the things, qualities, and events spoken about. The lexical morpheme of a language form a large set. I have a question. Should I learn the philosophy of... When should I learn the philosophy of language? Like, after learning general linguistics? Or after delving deep into morphology, semantics, and syntax? I think after would be better. That is before that is before delving into Arabic. Arabic linguistics. Okay. The lexical morphemes of a language form a large set, which allows new members. New ones are constantly being introduced into languages in response to the changing worlds in which speakers live. See chapter 4. Lexical morphemes, that is, form an open set. Okay. Farm, kiss, happy, constitute, book, and so on are free lexical morphemes, or free roots, which may serve as basis to which bound morphemes can be attached. Lexical morphemes can also be bound. These are bound lexical roots and derivational affixes. Sorry. Someone commented amazing and a heart. Thank you. Anyway, I'm going to put my phone into the charger, or my charger into the phone. I'm back. I have lost all motivation to read. Just so you know, I'm streaming to force myself to read. Because it's easy to escape if I'm not streaming. I don't want to look at the screen. That's how much I am what is the word? Nafara. I'm repelled by reading. The problem is that I have to read in order. I cannot read multiple books at the same time because they must be read in order, because each chapter depends on the chapter before it, and each book depends on the book before it. Regardless, let's proceed. We have 3 lexical morphemes, also known as free roots, and we have bound lexical roots or bound roots and derivational affixes. Okay, let's see bound roots first. Recall that some lexical roots have bound and free allomorphs. Sometimes I think it's like his example of deride and derige. Right? Derige is a bound root, I think. Recall that some lexical roots have bound and free allomorphs. Recall? What does he mean with recall? We have not mentioned such thing before in order to recall it. Okay, let's stop here with types of morpheme according to function and use. I have completed 1 hour of reading. Take a break, a long break, and then stream again if I haven't slept. Goodbye. Peace.